how do you motivate yourself and battle procrastination? So I mentioned a couple of apps that are useful, and you touched upon it, Jaden, in as much as you said it was in one of the apps, the Pomodoro method, which sounds like it might be a tomato sauce, but it's actually a pretty smart revision tactic, isn't it, to try and stay motivated. So if we come over to you, perhaps you could tell us a bit more, or touch again and remind us what the Pomodoro method is, and any other ways you used to stay motivated and just stop procrastination getting in.
Yeah, so I'm not completely sure about the actual definition of the Pomodoro method, but I know that you can use a variety of different times to use it. So, for example, the main method is to use 25 minutes of studying and then giving yourself 5 minutes of break. And then after that 5 minutes of break, then you do another 25 minutes and then 5 minutes of break. But you can also do this in other chunks, such as 45 minutes of concentration and then 15 minutes of relaxing. You really adapt it to whatever suits you best. And another way to stop procrastination, I think, is to really break it into small chunks. So if you find that you do have a short attention span, maybe it is worth doing 15 minutes at a time and then giving yourself a 10-minute break. And then gradually you can work this up until you're satisfied with the amount of work you're doing. And I feel like the more you do this, the more it becomes a habit. And you really want your study habits to become good habits rather than just turning procrastination into a bad habit. So the more you do good study habits, you should reward yourself more, and then next time you'll be more likely to do this. And I think that will benefit you a lot in the long run.
I think that's fantastic advice. Bethan, we're going to come to you if you've got anything to add to that in terms of how you do, or you remember kind of battling procrastination, or kind of making sure you're motivated once you get into your studies.
Yeah, I know that I used to procrastinate quite a lot, and that I think often comes from a place of anxiety. I know it did for me, that I was so overwhelmed that I had so much to do in preparation for exams that I just didn't know where to start, and I just sort of didn't start sometimes. But instead, I think, yeah, as we've said, making sure that everything's broken down into smaller sections. I really like, I don't know, some people might have used it in school, but when you're setting a goal, you make sure it's SMART, which has to be specific. So thinking about what it is: measurable, achievable, relevant, and time oriented. And I think specific is really important. Like, instead of just saying on your to-do list, revise maths or revise English, maybe you could just write down, okay, I'm going to look at 2 chapters in the book that I want to do, just so that you're really certain on a specific area. And I feel like that helps me as well to be a bit more motivated into doing things when I know I've just got this small specific chunk to do, and I can definitely do that in like the afternoon or something like that.
Yeah, I'm loving Spice. I think I think both everything you guys bring along is excellent, and people can really, it's practical. You can use it, rather than looking at the mountain thinking, Jesus, how am I going to get out that? Break it down, have a plan. The small steps that the guys are talking about there, in terms of what they're planning on doing, or the way they've kind of chunked up their revision, is a lot more motivating than just looking at the huge great hurdle you've got to get over before your exams. And yeah, Bethan just touched on their start. Get going. Do begin, rather than just kind of keep putting off and putting off. And you'll do exactly what Jaden was alluding to there. That if you start to build up small wins for yourself with the way you start your revision, it will feel good. You'll want a little bit more. You'll be motivated to do a little bit more, and go like that. So hopefully those are good ways, along with the Pomodoro technique. You can look that up. Those are exactly the times I've heard it used for, Jaden, that you said. So anywhere from 25 minutes to 40 minutes, then have a break, do something, come back to it. So I think that's really good. I still use that today when I'm kind of working on anything or studying anything. So